Good, what's happening, people? I'm going to do a shabad at the end of the talk. The talk's about the punj. It's going to be a quick, short talk. So these punj, they are the entities of Maya, the illusion. These keep us coming and going in reincarnation. We've been here many times before. We have failed because these entities have made us do bad deeds, sin, and they make us impure and keep us in the darkness. Huh? So what are the punj? Anger. So when we defeat anger, it turns to might. So God is almighty. When you fight back in self-defense, it's mighty. But with anger, you abuse people verbally for no reason. You get angry, you shout, you do unjust things, maybe violence. Your impulses are off. You're not a nice guy. And some people are evil and they have bad intentions with anger. Like my anger stuff is impulse. I'm not evil. I don't plan stuff. I don't have bad intentions, but you know, but impulses. And since I got this injury and stuff, I get more angry because I'm in a lot of pain. Pain makes you angry. The contractures, the discomforts, bone grinding on bone because my muscles are so tight. It makes me more angry. So I'm much worse than before. Before, I used to get angry, but it used to be for a reason. Someone would have to trigger me, and sometimes I might be doing over proportional stuff. But I used to be okay guy, but I still messed up with anger back in days. But now I mess up loads. Then we have lust. What is lust? Everyone's a jort, and the elements, we're all made out of 5 elements, yeah. So it's all flesh and it's all just muscle, bone, blood. But lust makes us see this little element stuff of the opposite sex. Some people the same sex, some people in animals. But lust makes us see things like in sexual desire in an aroused way. Like you'd be walking in town, you'd be looking, I'll do her, or she'd get a bit, or this or that. Your mind is always thinking lust, 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 lust. And lust people do crimes, sexual abuse, rapes, affairs, pedophilia, grooming, all sorts of stuff's going on with lust, in it. Obviously, when you're married, you have a family, you have to have a bit of sexual desire. Most people get married to start a family, yes, to have kids. If you're getting married to have a companion, you're gonna hit or miss, because if you get married and you can't have kids, that's fine. That's bana, sect hukum, and live with your partner on arm, yeah, or hopefully, yeah, that's the way, yeah. But if you get married just to have a companion and you don't want kids, then there's no better companion than the true guru. You're always gonna find more peace doing naam, bhakti, instead of having sex or chilling with your partner. It might be nice in the worldly form, but it's still maya, still illusion. The main reason to get married is to have kids. If you don't want kids, just do your bhakti and your naam. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, some people can't have kids or kismet hundi or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just destiny, right? I guess, I suppose. Then you're already married. Help each other get to the guru. So sex should be done after you're married in our culture, in not just our culture, Maharaj's hukam, yeah. And then you have your kids, you have sex, whatever. Some people say you only have sex to have kids. Some people say you can have sex throughout the whole marriage till the end. If you don't, the other partner's going to look somewhere else. This is why when it comes to choosing a partner, you do have to talk about these things, and you have to talk about your goals. If both of your goals to get to a Paramatma after you've done your family stuff, do you know what I mean? You do need to think, well, if you can't control the urges and stuff, keep it within the marriage, obviously. It goes without saying. And obviously, if you're having birth control like condoms or whatever, eventually you do want to try to come away from what I've read from Barney, that you do want to conserve this sexual energy and move up the chakras and open the 10th gate. Once you're in the 10th gate, you're in the 4th state, you're in nirvana, then you won't need these worldly shitty pleasures, because they're nothing, they're minuscule. Do you know what I mean? It don't matter. So you and your partner, if you're both serious about getting to God, then you do have to stop the sex, from what I read from Barney. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, let nature take its course, and you both have to be on the same path. Because if one's doing bhakti and their sexual desire is going, and they're near the 10th gate, and the other one's not, and they want it, and you're not giving it to them, they're gonna go somewhere else. And it could be the man could be wanting it, or the girl could be wanting it. It depends. So you both have to do your bug together. So before marriage, discuss: do you actually serious about getting to God in this June, in this life form, this human form? So these things you need to discuss kind of before marriage. I know it's a bit awkward and a bit weird, but if you say like, after we have a family or whatever, or I'm not, I do want to control the punch drawer, I want to get to God and this and that. See if you're on the same path. If the other person says, nah, I want sex for the rest of my life, you know, then like, if when you're doing a lot of bhakti in the punch or go and you're not interested in sex, then it's gonna be a bit awkward. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, youth these days are going mad with sex, without a marriage, with bare partners, and a lot of people keep trying to get married again and again and again and again. Obviously, it's not working for fifth time, sixth time. You know what I mean? You've got to pack it in and it call it a day. You know what I mean? It's not meant to be, right? Then the other one we have attachment. So lust should turn to love. When it turns to love, and you got no more lust or no more sexual desire, you got love. You want to care for all of humanity. You want to serve humanity, see God in all. You have no hate. You're not racist. You want to do seva. You want to feed the poor. You feel empathy when people in Gaza, kids in Gaza are getting killed. You feel their pain, stuff like that. You feel the African kids' pain that ain't eating and stuff. You feel pain of your neighbors. You feel the pain of your family. You feel the pain of your kids. You feel pain of everybody, because you don't want no suffering. You know what I mean? It hurts you because you just love everybody. Obviously, the thing has to have that switch when to love and when to draw the blade. You know what I mean? But really, we don't want to draw the blade. We don't want violence and stuff like that, because it's wrong. And when I mean wrong, humans shouldn't really hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? These hands ain't made to punch, man. They're made to serve. Stuff like that. The human body ain't really made for violence. We're not ready to take violence or give violence, but it happens. So you can't live in fantasy. You have to prepare for reality. But what I'm saying, ideally, ideally there should be no rape. There should be no killings. There should be no violence. There should be no swearing at each other for no reason. Shit like that. There should be no abuse. Everyone should be living in harmony. But shit happens, man. It's Kaljug. Do you know what I mean? Then we have attachment. So we need to turn this attachment to stability. So stability is when you're dead while you're alive. You're Jivan Mukt. You're in the 10th gate. You're in the 4th state. You know this is just a play, like a cloud. It's a mirage. You know what I mean? It's an illusion. It's a show. It's a puppet show for God. Hana? So, but attachment makes us do crazy things, man. We're so attached to the dunya, to the money, to Maya, to family, that, we don't even think about Rab until something bad happens, huh? And then we might think about Rab for a bit, do a Darcy, fulfills it, and then we go back to the attachment. Then we've got ego. Now, ego comes in many forms. It comes in, it might be ego about our looks, might be ego about our money, our body, our status, you know what I mean? But we have gurmukhs and manmukhs. Gurmukhs kill the ego by the Naam, the Shabad Guru, and they live by God's will, Guru's will. Gurmukh, they go from the dark to the light. Gurmukh, yeah. Manmukhs do their own manmarji. So, from what I read about Sikhi, and Gurbani gives us a gist. Gurbani tells us a bit about Rab, but it doesn't disclose everything. It keeps a lot of stuff hidden and mysterious. But it tells us quite a bit about God, and it tells us about this game, and how to play it, and how to conquer it, and how to beat it. Yeah. So what I know is when you do stuff like ego, like filters, makeup, cutting hair, and sexy, promiscuous, provocative clothing, it's all ego. It's because you think you've made yourself, you think you're proud of all this shit. You know what I mean? God's got it wrong, so you have to adjust it with man-made stuff. You have to do this, do that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of people are going to give their own version, but my interpretation of Gurbani, I know I've read Maharaj a few times, and it's to live in harmonious with nature. The only thing we can cut is our nails, because the nails have no limit. They'll keep growing and growing and growing, make it dysfunctional. It's all dead matter. People say the hair is dead matter. The hair is not dead matter. Read science. When I've had operations, I had to shave my leg hair, and they come back. They don't keep growing and growing. They came back and reach the same length they were before. some people's dari is short, some people's dari is long, but your dari doesn't keep growing and growing and growing, does it? It goes to a certain DNA length, and hair has a lot of, it is living, you know. It is like an aerial, it's a signal. It does so many scientific things. Just check it out, huh? So yeah, and everything else, like then we have greed. Greed, you know, people that eat a lot of food, greedy, it backfires, greedy for money, this and that. We need to get to a place where we feel contentment. So we had ego, lust, attachment, anger, and greed. So these are the five that keep us coming back in reincarnation. So I hope this helps. I'm going to leave you with this Shabbat. Save me, O my Father God. The five, this is by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. The five vicious thieves are assaulting my poor being. Save me, O Savior Lord. They are tormenting and torturing me. I have come seeking your sanctuary. Trying all sorts of things, I have grown weary, but still they won't leave me alone. People go in the jungles, people know that they exist, they know it's bad for them, but still, I've known lust's bad for me for ages. Do you know what I mean? Or still do lustful stuff, do you know what I mean? I know anger's bad, can't control it with the mind. So what does Maharaj say? I heard they can be rooted out in the Sahad Sangha that seek the shelter. Sahad Sangha, Naam Japa, go to the programs, Simran programs. Don't go there standing on stools acting hard. Go there, sit in the Sangha, take law of the Bani, the Naam, go to the Amritwala programs. Godwara should be packed at Amritwala, no? But they're not. With the Guru Shabad, I have rid of the five. So when you're doing your Bani, your Naam, your Simran, the five will eventually glow. Maharaj says, from the dark, from being battling these five, I have seen the divine light. I am in Nirvana. Nirvana. The darkness is gone. The punj don't affect Maharaj no more. He sees Nirvana. He sees the light. Wow. So Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. Repeat that as much as you can. It's a hard battle. You're going to have fall. You have to get back up. You're going to fall again. You have to get back up. You fall. Keep trying. All we can do is keep trying. If we don't get to God this time, let's at least clean as much mal as we can. We're going to keep committing sins. I commit sins every day. I have anger every day. You know what I mean? I do out of shit all the shit every day. It's just part of. But I'll keep trying. Got to keep trying. You know what I mean? It's not about just talking about Sikhi. We've got to try living it. What else? Anything else? I can't think of nothing else. Yeah. So like I said, you know, ego, lust, anger, everyone affects different people differently. I know. Like I said, the rate, you know, really ideally, you know, like all the races that I met, even the women, they all have hair. The black women, the mixed race women, Portuguese women, they all have a bit of hair. Maharaj created hair for a reason, right? It's when women shave or wax or whatever, it comes back a bit more thicker. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, some women have access hair, but who said women ain't meant to have hair? Where did we get that from? You know what I mean? It's this beauty standards, these bikini waxes and bikini lines and shave armpits, porn industry, OnlyFans, Insta setting up beauty standards. I rate all the singing here that are keeping their hair. I respect you guys. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're doing something so hard in today's society. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you've got access here and this and that, and you've got hormonal imbalances, that's different, huh? Or that's between you and God what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna give no advice. I don't know. I'm not a Brahmiyani, you know what I mean? But it's understandable if you do get the treatment or therapy or whatever you want to do. But women always have a tiny bit of hair. They might have a little bit of hair, a little bit of hair. Like all races, all my mates, all races, they used to shave the women, yeah? So I know it's hard. Sikhi's hard. You know what I mean? The rate is hard. No makeup, no jewelry, no ego, no provocative clothing for women. They're all about jewelry, makeup, filters, provocative clothing. That's all the women are about these days, a lot of them, huh? So it's hard for you guys. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, stay in the yara, innit? You want to be his true singing, his true princess. These are the rates, man. Do you know what I mean? People can justify it how they want. You know what I mean? From what I read about the rates, what I read about Gurbani, it's a very hard path. It's a distinct path, but that's what Maharaj says. It's like, it's thin as a hair and sharp as walking on a sword. It's not easy in Kaljok to live Sikhi, man. It's so easy to go that way, drink, shag about, take drugs, do a bank robbery, you know what I mean, sell drugs. It's hard to work hard, give to charity, and look different from everybody else, especially in England, and get abuse and stuff like that. Take it, people, respect.